Welcome again to another Coffee with Mark. This time we're coming to you from a rainforest in British Columbia. Absolutely beautiful, old growth, tall spruces and pines, just gorgeous nature. And I'm here with my beloved, and she's going to help me do this edition. And I'm here with a little bit of coffee from downtown Vancouver, a place called Turks, which was recommended to us for a good coffee. And this is called a summertime blend. And they didn't know what it was a blend of. And so I'm going to try to decipher the blend here is what happens. And I've been tasting it all along. And so I think it feels like a blend between Latin American and African. You can taste a little floral in there, but it is also got a good cocoa thing going on there. Probably blended, they said medium, I'm thinking, or roasted medium. I'm thinking it's probably roasted the lighter side of medium. But it's actually a really nice blend. It's a good cup of coffee, especially in a setting like this. So just wanted to share a couple of things with you. Again, I'm in going through the Bible, my mom's Bible, transferring notes, as I said last time. So the book of Numbers and the book of Deuteronomy and the book of Joshua. So these were like sort of like basic training. I see the book of Numbers as basic training to get people in shape for the wilderness. That's kind of the way that I'm seeing it. And of course, there was a census there, which is why it's called the book of Numbers. One of the important things there is God is trying to keep a separation between Israel and the other people. And he says to them, if you don't drive out the inhabitants of the land, then they will be barbs in your eyes and thorns in your sides. And again, it's just a real warning to us, the areas of sin that we know in our life we need to deal with. We need to get rid of those things, drive them from us, and not fool around with them. That's part of basic training, is learning how to handle the things we used to accept, but now we see that are sin, and now we're dealing with them from a different perspective, from a holiness perspective. And of course, you've got the book of Deuteronomy, which is really kind of like a book of a renewal of the covenant. So a whole new generation now has come through. A generation has come through the wilderness, and a new generation has to hear the covenant now. So Moses rehearses the entire covenant, the 10 Commandments and everything. It's like preparation for conquest of the land. So before we conquer our lands that God has given to us, we have to go back and remember our covenant. And so the covenant that we have to remember is the new covenant. We have to ground ourselves in the gospel. When we're grounded in the gospel, then we realize that we're justified, we're regenerated, brand new people, brand new hearts, and that we're sanctified by the work of Jesus. And we're renewing ourselves in that covenant, just like they had to renew the covenant. And just before they went into the land of Canaan. So he rehearsed that covenant again, and the entire book is structured around that. Then you have the book of Joshua. Here it is, entering into the land at last, the promised land. It was promised generations ago. And remember, you have to think about this. This is a second generation of former slaves now going into a land and conquering it. You have to think of a slave mentality, coming out of a slave mentality where you have nothing, where you're beaten down, and now you're going in and you're going to have to conquer. You're going to be able to conquer by the promise of God and the grace of God. And so all of this is basic training. All of this is preparation for being able to come into the land. And so I just want to encourage you, don't despise the times in your life that you feel like nothing's going on, because there is something going on. God is doing something in you. He's preparing you for conquest. He's maybe taking out of you the old mentality, the slave mentality. He's renewing you in a covenant of grace, and he's reminding you to get rid of the sin and stay clear of the sin in your life. so that you can come in and possess your land. Thanks for listening. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, and share, and check out our other videos. Also, if you want to see how we are multiplying healthy leaders worldwide, you can check out markmedley.org. And remember, life's too short to drink bad coffee.